Racism is everywhere and it's institutionalized. We cannot really be racist because racism is prejudice plus power. Nothing I say up here nor anywhere in the world will impact stop front.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back, and this is a beatzillapdx official news break. And today, we got to talk about some interesting situation with actually Dr. Umar. So, as you see the title, Dr. Umar Johnson, the Prince of Pan-Africanism, finally agrees with Tariq Nasheed on tethers. Now, I'm sure some of y'all are like, hey, that's just horrible. I posted this video that I'm going to play, and I got an interesting response. Matter of fact, we here today. We right here. So just to let you know, I'm right here. So yeah, we are on the camera. But he has pushed back against the foundational Black American lineage-specific delineation line. However, I guess in his experience and travels, he's realized that some of the things we were saying about some of these people was correct. And he's now speaking from his own experience on the very same facts that we were complaining about the disrespect and the vitriol that some Black immigrants have towards foundational Black Americans. That is who we call tethers, because what they do is they assimilate in our community. They start identifying as Black while undermining our lineage and our what we're owed as a lineage. So I'm going to get to all of that. And again, I posted this video, like I said, I posted this video on my Instagram, and, somebody that I know from here, a very reputable Pan-Africanist, and I understand a lot of people have been drawn into the Pan-Africanist line over the course of years because that's what we held on to as being Afrocentric. I mean, that goes all the way down to conscious rap. And see, it's been a one-sided love affair. It's been a very clearly one-sided love affair. And the one thing that we are seeing right now is I posted this video, and like I said, the brother that I know, very well-known, reputable, has traveled over to the motherland and has moved in the Pan-Africanist circle since, I guess, the 80s. Because I believe I originally met this brother in like 1989. So put that in perspective. We're talking before like X-Clan and whatnot. So I mean, I guess kind of telling you about myself. 89. So again, we've been at this pro-Black, again, a long period of time of being Pan-Africanist. We're well known in this city. Myself, we at one time all rode that line. I think I was probably the first to kind of jump off the train back in the 90s. But this is what happens when you travel. See, he traveled as the headliner. I traveled as the drummer of the headliner. Night and day experience. Night and day experience. And the way that we were treated by multiple groups of Africans from Ghana, Kenya, and Nigeria. And singly, the Singhalese people, so Senegal. Who else was there? Because this was like supposed to be, this was literally an event supposed to be covering our flat, universal Blackness. From the Caribbean to the, there was supposed to be music from the diaspora. Praise music from the diaspora. Well, let me tell you something. We're the headliners. Do you know that every last one of the African groups had a problem with it? Come on. We're a foundational Black American choir from the States, mainly based out of Church of God in Christ at that, in the 90s. We were smashing everything coming. I mean, come on, man. Come on, man. So, needless to say, shout out Roger Doris. And all of the, I mean, because, man, we took some heavy hitters up there. That was myself, Roger Doris, and Chris Turner, for those who are familiar with your musicians. And went and put it on these, on the diaspora. And all we doing is us. Again, we're the headliner, so we're supposed to be bringing it. Oh, family. One of the things that happened while we were up there in 1998 is that we were at the venue and a few of the Africans got together and elected to be a little bold and came up to us and said, why do so many African Americans believe they are African when they are not? Now, you don't get that conversation in most areas because the Africans have financial benefits to not showing you that side. Now, I'm not saying this is every group, by no means, but just giving and sharing with you my own personal experience. It's not to be thrown aside or ignored. It's not that I'm highlighting a negative thing about the diaspora. It is that all I'm doing is sharing you my experience. You want us to hear about African booty scratchers from 1976 and 2023. But when I tell you that even in 1998, they said that we were not the same, you can go hear interviews from some of them people over there now. They will say the exact same thing. So pan-Africanism has been very much one-sided, has it not? So with that being said, sometimes we get our wake-up calls, just like I did. I got mine in 1998. Now, in 1998, I can go back to 1992 with my conversation with Dr. Khalid Muhammad, discussing that I believed in 1992 that those people that were spoken of in the Bible, the chosen ones, had to be us. So having a conversation, shout out Minister Ricky, Brother Ricky from the local mosque, and Ali Shaheed that used to be there, and all the other people that were there over the 90s, and my brother Rassam Muhammad. So shout out to the NOI local chapter, and also the brothers up in Seattle and the brothers in California that came up here to support Dr. Muhammad back in 92 when he was here speaking. So with that, I've had these real rare opportunities and just hit and miss. You never know who you might run into on a fly, and then it's like, man, bam. So yeah, I only wish we were in the day and age of phones, cell phones. I mean, because people probably wouldn't even believe it, And again, that's neither here nor there for me because we know who was there. And so again, like I said, some of us have a long history dealing in what we perceive. We were always open to the diaspora, always. But we have to be honest, and things have drastically changed from the information that we had then to the information that we have now. So with that being said, let me play you what Dr. Umar has to say.
And unfortunately, so many of our African immigrant parents come to America thinking they better than us. That when someone like Dr. Umar Johnson wants to come to the African community in America and say, let me train your parents on how to advocate for their kids, they run away from me and run to the damn white man. Because he gave you refugee status. because he gave you refugee status from a damn war that he started. When I try to help you, you run away from me and run to the white man because he gave you refugee status. And so now you think you've been blessed by God because the white man gave you refugee status in the United States. A refugee status that wouldn't even be necessary if the white man didn't start the war that you had to run away from in the first place. And then they tell you to stay away from black folks in America. So y'all get to America, start acting like y'all don't know who we are. But your damn kids is being special educated, miseducated, and black immigrant youth are one of the fastest growing prison populations in America. Black immigrant youth, black African immigrant youth are one of the fastest growing prison populations in America because you damn Africans come to America, some of you, and ain't got no damn pan-African consciousness. Come to America and you ain't got no damn pan-African consciousness. Thinking you better than me when everything you get is the result of the struggle that we have been through. Everything you get is the result of the struggle that we have been through, and you want to turn your nose up at us because the white man gave you a refugee status card. Get your ass out my face. I don't deal with sellout African Americans, and I damn sure ain't gonna deal with no sellout Africans from the continent. I don't deal out with no sellout African Americans, and I damn sure ain't gonna deal with no sellout Africans from the continent.
Now, what he said, I know a lot of people will like to chalk that up as rhetoric, and just like the brother said on my page, man, he highlighting this. See, my thing is this: anytime somebody is trying to push an idea on me and doesn't want me to hear the full scope of what they're trying to sell me, I usually will turn that one down and usually will turn my back to that move because, again, that is a non-beneficial situation to us. So what we're talking about here is letting disrespect happen on one side and letting it slide on the other. However, the only time when you hear people chiming up like this brother did, and which this is what my issue is with these African dreamers. It's only you. It's not happening on a government scale. It's not happening on a wide scale. The government as a whole just sat up there with all of those different African leaders, just sat up there with Joe Biden, got $55 billion from Joe Biden while they talked about the harms done that they faced, not that we faced in the horrors here in America. No, that they faced by us being here in America. And then had Gladys Knight sing for them. So you had a slave jubilee. That was a slaver's jubilee. Black slavers and white slavers. Here's one thing that black folks cannot seem to get in their mind. That is nothing new. It is absolutely nothing new. Here's the point. You dealt with a black devil and you dealt with a white devil. Problem is, y'all won't admit that you dealt with the black devil. And I have a huge issue with that. I am not going to dismiss the blatant disdain and vitriol that these people have for foundational Black Americans and our ancestors here. See, again, y'all keep missing something. We do a great disservice to our ancestors, the ones we know we hail from. Not some mythical tribe in Africa that you can't trace yourself to. No, I'm talking about the people that you actually can trace yourself to. That is the slave trade here. Reclassified black folk. Reclassified black free folks because they were kidnapped and stolen and put into slavery under false names. Sometimes stolen free black folks put in slavery to replace the runaway slaves now that you've seen American Maroon. So some of those runaway slaves were replaced with free black folk who were snuck out of where they were down to the South. That was a thing too. Out here, they call it Shanghai. See, these practices didn't stop. They just shifted. So out here in Portland, Oregon, we have the Shanghai tunnels. These folks didn't stop their practices. They just changed their target. We still have mass incarcerated, the most prison population per capita on the planet. Yeah, slavery, these people can't get rid of their past. But if they can't, what the hell would you be thinking going back to the people who sold you to these people? You weren't stolen. We were sold. And for those who were here, those of us who have family who predates the slave ships and goes back to the 1500s, who then still ended up in slavery. This is America. All of this time, and especially then, where was the tie or call for Africa then? Africa didn't look at these black folks in America. See, right now, you got black folks that these Africans refuse to acknowledge the black people that were here before the slave trade. Do you realize that part too? So what they are, see, that is a hustle. That's not legit. And like I said, another thing, tell me about the pros and cons. Now, this brother said he's undermining the things that we've done. Man, let me read this shit. And bro, you know, I hope you see this and understand this is the energy that I need us to be in. Because we can't sit up here and keep having one-sided conversations like you did. Because what you did, brother, was came over and all you did was you didn't address what he said at all. And we see that all the time with everything that we're pushing. And man, when he did this, you attacked the person and then ignored the message. I don't do that. I'm looking out for the people. I'm not worried about nobody's feelings. This is about the people. And if you want to be about the people, you got to worry about your home first. Not across the water, Atlantic Ocean. Ain't got nothing to do with you. Now, yes, y'all may have some camaraderie, but your business and focus should be here with the rest of us. Not trying to sell and split yourself in, because a house divided against itself. See, we are the itself part. This foundational Black American thing here in America, that's the itself part. When you start playing away games, now you're a pan-Africanist. And now you have lost your way because you don't know where home is. Let me read this. It says this, the first one, it says, this dude is tripping and highlights negative interactions to promote divisive tropes that undermine pan-Africanism. No, what he did was expressed a experience. Can't stand when we keep doing this to each other. This is that bullshit that we do to each other as Black folks. Because you ignored what he said to put a whole different line that ain't there on this man. And I'm no Umar Johnson fan, but I'm a truth fan. And this right here, brother, is not the truth. Goes on to read. There's actually nothing Pan-African about his characterization. Well, that part is true. But he is a Pan-Africanist. He is the prince of pan-Africanism, the main voice of pan-Africanism that is worldwide recognizable as today. And he's saying this. So see, again, my thing is this. Y'all trying to, and I rock with Tariq Nasheed. But what y'all are trying to do is now make a staunch pan-Africanist, anti-reparationist, been railing against FBA and Tariq Nasheed all of this time for saying exactly what he just experienced. Where's the trope? See, I didn't say what he said. I said what he experienced. See how we keep nullifying that part? That is a truth of fact. An experience is a truth of fact. I have experienced this anti-Black hate from Africans, unwarranted, often here in America, to where they fled from or where they fled to, not sitting in their homeland. See, I'm not in their homeland disrespecting them. It's not their ancestors that did anything for me here. It's our ancestors that fought for them to get here. Why are we babying these people and just excusing disrespect of us and our ancestors here in America? Why the hell are we doing that? Let me go on. Because again, he calls this a characterization. That's false, brother. Now you're lying on the man because he didn't give you a characterization. These are things, for those of you who have heard the spaces and the clubhouse rooms, there are some videos and clips that you can get out there, especially of Miss Djibouti. Man, if you're not going to address these anti-Black Africans with the hard ER and all that, they don't have no love for us, brother. In some countries, mainly the South African countries, are the people that do rock with us. We don't call them tethers. See, but that's not a diaspora thing. Because here's the one thing also I really respect about the South Africans. South Africans don't come at us with the "we are one" bullshit. They recognize who they are. They recognize who we are in our achievements. That is respect. These other people talking this "we are one" bull, no, we're not. No, we are not. We are only one now because we're standing up for ourselves right here, pressing this reparation issue, while y'all are over here worrying about pan-Africanism. See, we worried about getting the money to go buy a plate, and y'all worried about going to Africa just to get a plate. I would rather be in my own kitchen making whatever I want to make versus worrying about somebody else's country whose only benefit from us to them, but we don't benefit at all over here from them at all. We don't have no dual citizenship. Matter of fact, which one of those countries has made a proclamation or declaration against the United States of America for the treatment of foundational Black Americans here in America? I mean, we have George Floyd. Everything is well documented. We don't have all of these things to miss. You know what they're saying, though? Oh, we're baby mothers. We are katas. We're Jareers. We're not addressing that. So, I mean, I'm sure somebody might be a little brain dead right now and say, man, these Nasheedians is crazy. Nigga, please. Ain't nothing about Tariq Nasheed and what I'm saying or reading right now. This is Beatzilla. So make sure you hit me. If you want, don't say, oh, well, these are somebody else's. Nah, because I can tell you my point. Not regurgitated talking points, and I don't have to worry about making up what you say or characterizing what you say. I'm going to go and deal with the matter at hand, which I wish so many of our people would learn how to do. Because so far, this brother has not touched on what Umar said. He's just addressing the tone of it. which does nothing. His experience doesn't speak for the majority of us, and yet, because he has a platform, his influence. No. Stop it. See, again, majority? How? Where is the majority? See, again, we get this fictitious line that does not exist. Majority? Majority where? Because the majority that we are seeing in contemporary times is a bunch of hate and vitriol towards foundational Black Americans. And all you keep doing is ignoring it to talk about how this brother is clearly, like, again, we're talking about Umar. Now, Umar all of a sudden is trying to undermine the very foundation that he has laid for himself and career. Are you kidding? That's a reach in the least. Let's see. His spirit doesn't speak for the majority of us, and yet, yes, it speaks for me. It does speak for me and a lot of people I've known. That's why we call them tethers. Yet he has a platform to influence, encourages this type of shit in us instead of furthering the work of unity. I want y'all to start looking at something. Y'all don't know how to identify an enemy because they have black skin. And that's probably one of the worst things that you can find yourself in. If any of this was true, why can't black folks get along in America? Because with that line of logic, there would be no intercommunity crime. However, we don't have the corrupt government system and structures that they do for ran by black folks. We still have the old white supremacist regime in place. They got other people that look like them just as corrupt as the white folks. Again, that wasn't even mentioned in this particular part. So what is he highlighting that's so negative? What he's saying is these people do not come to get with us. They come to get with the dominant society. And that is true for the majority. And living here in Portland, Oregon, to sit up here and tell yourself and tell the world that lie, that is not the majority, you, sir, are now becoming a bona fide hypocrite just for the sake of pan-africanism. And you can't do that and keep your... No, you got to deal with it honestly. Because, see, don't sell your people a bill of goods on some false paradise. We over here talking about reparations for slavery, and you over here talking about, man, he over here gonna make people not want to share the jollof. No, bro. We can't get into that. At least I'm not. Because I'm full well aware, again, I'm telling you from the 90s, man. The 90s. I know what's up. They've shown us what's up all these years. Now that we're finally pushing and delineating and making sure that we have, and here's the other part. What is the problem with distinguishing ourselves as our individual group in America? I don't understand that. Every Caribbean island has their own culture. Caribbean, they got their culture. No problem. Jamaica got their culture. Everybody's from Africa. They got their culture. It's cool. We come here and say, this is our culture. Oh my God, you hate Africa. Stop it. That is some of the most self-hating. And at the end of the day, the base of that conversation is fear of the dominant society. There is no fighting white supremacy in Africa. So where would that benefit you? And here's the unity part. What unity? We don't have it here. Now, it goes on to say, he finally admits, yes, there is a lot of internalized white supremacist indoctrination here and globally. Yes, in their diaspora. So how do we address it? By ignoring it? That's not how you fix problems. So, and you don't have relationships, and you will never have a successful relationship with a very clear apparent problem that goes unaddressed. What world does that work in? Do you see how folks be looking at us? You want black folks to do the most unimaginable, backwards, non-progressive bullshit for the sake of, man, I got some African friends. That's cool, but that's not the whole. And so to put this on a group, on the mass, that's absolutely wrong to be doing. Having emotional disunity as a heightened narrative just reinforces it, and the internet gets to distribute more black rivalry and trauma for consumption. I'm going to continue to read because I just want y'all to soak this in. Because this is somebody, like, as I read this, you'll just be like, damn, this sounds like this person from the East Coast. This sounds like this person from this area. This sounds like this person from this area. Because this is the pan-Africanist, I guess, the diatribe that they have yet to recognize or come to the realization is dead. But let me just read it for you. It's problematic to highlight the problem he's describing without also promoting the plentiful examples of the opposite. I'm sure you guys, if you guys know plentiful, please put those in the comments. I would love to know, because plentiful means a lot. So that means that plentiful would have to be more than what we're saying, right? So that means there'd be evidence of that being true. It's a slap in the face to those of us building Pan-African unity for decades. Because his platform is influential, his rhetoric will encourage divisiveness in the minds of those who are apt to believe stereotypes about Africans from Africa and Africans in the diaspora. That's not FBA. See, he has FBA in parentheses. FBA does not identify as African. See, again, man, bruh. See, God damn, man. This is my issue. You have no problem disrespecting your own. Don't you understand how disrespectful that shit is? So you take a shot at a whole group of black folk here in America to talk about disunity? God, the hypocrisy in this shit is just outrageous. Not at all still yet has he addressed the fact of the vitriol towards us in the first place. This like this some kind of back and forth. We open a door for these people. Show respect. But what they're doing is coming over here, and I'm going to get to another little video to further disprove this unity bullshit. Now, again, because there is no African diaspora as far as foundational black Americans. That's not an African diaspora. That is foundational black Americans without having established their own relationships that exemplify unity and actual pan-African principles in practice. Why would they? They're not pan-Africanists. They don't subscribe to that foolishness because there is no flat blackness. They are colonized. We're oppressed. We fight. They bend. Where's the unity? What are you unifying with? The broken? You want to just go be amongst the shards of sand and broken glass? That ain't unity. There's unity in the trash can. There's unity in the landfill. There's unity at the cemetery. Where is the great benefit of that unity? I'll wait. And see, here's the thing. We've established our relationships in unity. You can identify that and say in foundational Black America, because we're saying that as a lineage, not a group. But yet and still see, this is the evidence of, and this is how you concede truth. You mentioned FBA. That right there in itself is the sign of the group that practices unity. I can break down this Pan-African shit all day. All day. Telling y'all, anytime y'all want it with me, I can break this down all day. And we ain't gonna do the, man, look at this, man, look at that, because that's all y'all can do. Nah, man. To talk to me, we gonna have to talk about this for real. But it's the unity. Miss me with all the symbolic bullshit. Where's the policies that they implementing for us over there? You want to talk about unity? Then one of them governments that got that $55 billion should have been saying something about us. But they didn't. And none of you Pan-Africanists said anything about it. None. But you're mad at everybody who said, man, and this person said that, this person said that, and they promoting this unity. What the hell are y'all on? Every person that I seen, I seen a video about Marcel Dixon showing a response from him without showing what was said. That is so absolutely disingenuous and dishonest behavior. It's not funny. Some of y'all looking crazy right now, by the way. Obsessively crazy. But we gonna get back down to breaking it down. You understand? Oh, Lord, let's see. He will drive folks away from the work who will take what he's saying as justification to not do the work. That doesn't sound like a very dedicated, unified bunch now, does it? That don't sound like who you just mentioned in FBA, though. See the difference in the strength and unity? You can say this. Now, the only reason is you don't like what FBA say. You don't like what the people from that identify with this lineage, which, y'all do. Y'all just say, well, yeah, I'm of the lineage, but I ain't going to identify as that. How unified are you? Hypocrites. I mean, like I'm saying, the hypocrisy is staggering when you actually look at it for what it is. Man, you ain't gonna tell me nothing. Oh, y'all don't like me. Y'all can just do, and I don't give a shit if you don't like what I'm saying. I said that shit about Marcel. Boy, that was some kind of stupid. And for all of y'all who fell for that cornball line, if this dude is responding to someone, show what was said to that man. Stop being a damn liar because you hate Tariq Nasheed. Y'all kill me with this. The FBA, and he throws FBA in there too. Yeah. Because some people got to stand for the home team, since y'all won't. Not saying he's not being honest about his experience and the experience of others, but the solution lies in further strengthening the relationships, the struggle, and love, not saying fuck it and quitting or never beginning. then I would challenge every Pan-Africanist to show open public respect to foundational Black Americans first. Show me you respect your home. You show me. Instead of mentally and spiritually fleeing to the place to where these people physically fled from. But here's another person who fled here. I'm sure you will enjoy what this Pan-Africanist woman has to say because it's so unified and pushes the line of Black unity.
Wife and mom to 3 boys, 2 of which are in high school. This bill requires that schools teach ethnic studies starting in kindergarten, and I am against this. You might ask, why in the world would a Black person speak against ethnic? Not everything that sounds good is good. The definition of ethnic studies right there in the statute says that there's a connection between a person's race and their stratification. The bill tells kids of color that they are stuck in a caste system based on their race. It also tells kids, and I quote, that institutions chronically favor white people and disadvantage people of color. I'm sick of everyone denying the enormous progress we've made in this country, acting like it's
where she's at. Look at the platform she's on. These are things that will affect our children. What's going on with this window? These are the things that will affect our children, our children's children. We're not supposed to pay attention to that, though, because, her being from the motherland and all, she must know what the better for us. Because, she wasn't really speaking against us. I'm just saying, she being African and all. She must know. No, man. She came here and did exactly what Umar said. So when you start saying these, that's not really the big experience. Okay. Then what's up with this? Miss Kofi, this African woman right here, who is using the line of flat blackness, right? Yeah, using that line. Yeah, see how that benefited her? Flat blackness benefited her to start undermining us. While you're worried about Umar undermining the work you did for people like this. So this is what you worked for. All you Pan-Africanists, I'm just curious. This is really what you work for. This is what you hate FBA for? You really can't wait to mention FBA. Because and FBA is not a diaspora thing. And even once more, I'm an Israelite. We ain't no damn Africans. So, when you look at me, don't tell me, man, you taking Tariq Nasheed's line. Nigga, I have not identified with Africa for over 15 years. Jesus. I've been saying this for a while. But I know, there's certain people out there, man, I have always been open on the whole diaspora mindset. But as time goes on and you start looking and learning, at some point what your heart has invested itself in has to line up with your eyesight of reality. And right now, I'm watching a bunch of y'all fall into this world of delusion, and none of you can ever spew a fact or deal with the actual topic at hand. It will always be about the individuals that you don't like. That ain't Pan-Africanism either. So even still, let me ask y'all something. What benefit does foundational Black Americans have with Pan-Africanism? Put that in the comment section below. But in the meantime, let me again show you the benefits of your Pan-Africanism work. And I am assuming you must agree with this African woman right here because she identifies as Black. So now she can get over here and start undermining us. Thanks.
My name is Kafi Manska. I'm an attorney, wife, and mom to 3 boys, 2 of which are in high school. This bill requires that schools teach ethnic studies starting in kindergarten, and I am against this. You might ask, why in the world would a Black person speak against ethnic studies? Because not everything that sounds good is good. The definition of ethnic studies right there in the statute says that there's a connection between a person's race and their stratification. The bill tells kids of color that they are stuck in a caste system based on their race. It also tells kids, and I quote, that institutions chronically favor white people and disadvantage people of color. I'm sick of everyone denying the enormous progress we've made in this country, acting like it's 1930. We used to have a race-based system. We got rid of it, and now you're all trying to bring it back. This curriculum will not help kids of color succeed. All it does is remove any reason to try. And I repeat that, it removes any reason to try. And this is not some theoretical crap. This stuff happens. These messages are very harmful. Just last month in my high schoolers band class, the teacher took 20 minutes at the beginning of class to talk about anti-racism. He told the kids to look around. And then he said the Black boys in the school would likely not live to retirement because of racism and the police. Another furious kid of color recorded this conversation, and so I was able to hear it for myself with my own ears. If this law is passed, teaching this hopelessness to kids of color will be mandated starting in kindergarten. And I can see why you white proponents of this bill might support it. It's not your kids being told that they can't succeed, and you get to shed some of your white guilt in the process. But you legislators of color, how can you? You made it despite the invisible boogeyman of systematic racism. You were voted in by a majority of white people. You hold some of the most powerful positions in this state. Yet you want to tell my kids and other kids of color that they can't succeed? It's shameful, it's terrible. I ask that you please vote against this bill. Thank you for this opportunity.
All right, Pan-Africanists. All right, Pan-Africanists. Time to put up. But I'm sure you're going to do what you always do and shut up. Because, see, here's the truth of Pan-Africanism. You are absolutely aiding and undermining your own home. And we got enough to worry about. So, Pan-Africanists, are you helping the fight for reparations for slavery? Because that's what reparations is. Reparations is not about racism. Reparations is about chattel slavery here in America. I don't hear many Pan-Africanists pushing the reparations line. Matter of fact, I've heard some people say they ain't gonna give you reparations. But damn, Tariq Nasheed, I'm just saying, this is a line you hear. Damn, FBA, y'all just hating on Africans for nothing. There's a video, there's a platform, that's a school board. Not a Twitter space, not a YouTube, not a TikTok, but a real platform of change, and it affects your children. But I mean, the FBA be promoting this divisiveness. While this backstabbing culture bringer came right here, thanks to your Pan-Africanism, got her schooling, and then started going out here caping for white supremacists. What did he say that was not true? And I'm no Umar fan. I'm not really a big fan of any. I'm not like a fanboy. I'm not into that. There's people that I fool with because I rock with what they say. Because that's man shit. I don't have problems with other people because people have problems with them. That's immature shit. But what I do actually partake in is a truthful, honest, intentional discourse. And I don't see that coming from pan-Africanists. All I see is a bunch of gripey, ranting, shaming tactics that, see, in some, and I'm not saying this is the case with this brother, but this brother is an artist. Some of these other people who complain, they have revenue streams tied up in pan-Africanism. Why do you think everything talked about lineage always comes along with the conversation of grift? Because they're concerned about the coins. That's why they can't explain nothing. Pan-Africanism is a scam. And that is the grift. Why do you think that all of them only talk about money? And someone else's money at that. I guarantee you, any one of these people that talk ill against reparations, foundational Black Americans, I guarantee you that money and grifting is in their conversation. Someone else's money. And there's grifting in this. If it's not, if I'm lying, I'm flying. Show me the one person that actually says something beyond that. If it can't be the big titles of shame, then what is it after that? Oh, well, man, this and that. Yeah, crook. Yeah, this and that. All right. I want to deal with what he said. Huh? I want to deal with what they said. Huh? Yeah, you know that part of information, what they said? Huh? That's how y'all be acting. Too smart to act so goddamn dumb. But some of y'all might disagree. You can comment below and let me know what you think. As for me, I agree with Dr. Umar Johnson in this case because he is absolutely correct. I cannot find fault in how he brought it. And he brought it very well said. I mean, y'all might be a little upset, and damn. But I mean, I hope y'all understand, for those of us who watch and observe, some of y'all are looking loony as tunes right now. And again, I said, well, hey, it must be about money. Or either y'all dibbling dabbling in too much random spiritual shit. Y'all might want to reevaluate that. Because not everything spiritual is the right one. Y'all might be calling the wrong things on you. But hey, don't take it from me. I just know what I'm talking about. Because again, we're in the realm that I just believe what I believe. Anybody want to have a solid discourse? Let's have it. But bring some facts and information. Don't bring facts about a person. I don't give a shit about that. Because again, I don't need to hear about a pimp. I don't need to hear about drug dealers. I'm a damn felon. I shot me a white man. So what? Been 10 toes down in this black shit for over 30 years. If anybody, let's look at the commitment of that. See, what you just saying in this, brother, man, they could just want to quit the work. Get on like you've been shit on. Because this ain't no sprint in the first place. It's a marathon. 30 years, brother. We both have 30 plus years in this. Between me, you, Tony, and Ro. Come on. You kidding? You looking at well over a century. And Tony Hill know me since we was 12. And, her son is named after me, by the way. The middle name, Bishop. And if you didn't know, that's another one of my titles. Given, not taken, given by those around me. That's what they call me, the bishop. So if anybody knows what bishops do, that's why they call me the bishop. And you cannot be a bishop without being vigilant of everything that's going on around you and around the people associated with you. You understand what I'm saying? So when I'm breaking down this Dr. Umar situation, I'm not looking at this blindly. I deal with everybody that deals with me. You rock with us, I rock with you. But if you have ill intent while rocking with me, then that is not solid unity, but that's treachery. And I would be betraying myself to ignore a situation like that. How does that benefit me? You understand what I'm saying? So I just want y'all to keep these things in mind. This has been a news break, a little longer than normal, but hey, we didn't have a live last week. I've been unplugged all weekend. Just me and the wife enjoying our anniversary. So thank everybody for the love that y'all gave. I seen the comments last night. So shout out to all of y'all who showed love. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Like I said, we, enjoyed ourselves. So again, you see, I got the energy for today. You know what I'm saying? I got the energy for today. I almost went live with this, and I guess I could have, but we'll just go ahead and upload this here shortly, and I guess I'll get a chance to enjoy it back with y'all in a little bit. But yeah, nonetheless, yeah, thank you, and I hope y'all enjoyed this. The first video back after my brief, what they call them, vacations. the vacation. Yeah, just sometimes you got to do that and tune everything else out. You understand what I'm saying? Just shut it all down. Hey, and enjoy each other in our own time. You know what I mean? So sometimes you got to do that. Married men, I would advise you do that. What I say on after my broadcast on Friday night, wifey time. So we finna shut it off, and don't bother hitting me up because I will not respond. It's over. I don't turn my ringer back on after my broadcast on Friday nights. So let that. Hey man, I tried to hit you. I know. Like I'm a musician. I've been a musician since I was 3. I don't get distracted like that. So hey man, I get an alert on my phone. Get me looking up. Ain't nobody dead. Ain't nobody dead, so I ain't got no time for it. But yeah, y'all go ahead, like and share this video. And let me know again, like I said, let me know what y'all think about this, because I believe Dr. Umar has seen the light. Now that's not saying that all is well, and but again, I can respect when the brother tells the truth. I'm just waiting for the rest of you pan-Africanists to say something. Because see, to wait till I post it, to wait till I address it, just like you did, brother. That's what I'm talking about. That line of hypocrisy. I ain't fooling with that. And if that's what pan-Africanism is, it's not honest, and I can't mess with it. There's a con there. And I just want somebody to make it plain for me how this is beneficial for us of the lineage. Because all we're saying is we're delineating, that's not hating, but making us a singular group and cutting out flat blackness because everybody else is a singular group. So if it's Jamaicans, they are a singular group, Grenadans, singular group, Trinidadian, singular group, Bayesian, singular group. Let's see. Puerto Rican, singular group, Cuban, singular group. Hey, Dominican Republic, whatever they go by. The Colombians, Argentinians, them racist bastards. Them dark-skinned Mexicans. I mean, the list goes on. Because part of Mexico is still in the Caribbean. So am I not right about that? They're going from one side, like here's the was it the east side of Mexico? And they're like Cozumel and shit like that. I believe Cozumel is considered to be Caribbean. And it's Mexico. So all of these different slave colonies that came from Africa, they all have their different individual identity, but it's murder when it comes to foundational Black Americans having ours. Shameful. However, though, for all of my Bible thumpers, there's a prophecy that says one particular tribe would stand up. You know what standing up means? That means standing up and being one's own. Some people have alluded to Black people in America being of the tribe of Judah. And lo and behold, foundational Black Americans have emerged. See, it said Judah would stand up. It didn't say they'd be screaming Judah. But, that's if you believe in prophecies and stuff like that. Nonetheless, y'all can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at beatzillapdx. You can email me at ourrealtruth@gmail.com. And if you would like to support this channel, if you like and enjoy the content you are getting and receiving, good information right here, you can definitely help out by way of donation at CashApp. That's $beatzillapdx. That's Cash App, $beatzillapdx. We also have PayPal, which is Zilla Music at PayPal. That is ZILLAMUZAK at PayPal. Of course, we have Super Thanks and Super Chat. Peace, power, blessings, and protection be up on all of you and yours. And I am, like I said, I'm going to be doing I'm working on something for all the contributors. So I'm going down through the list of names. And so for those of you who are reoccurring contributors, I'm only going to put your name once, but so like I'm not going to put you multiple times, but I want to make sure I show all of y'all some love. Thank you so much for supporting this channel and supporting what we do here, and not just supporting myself, but supporting the move and efforts of the grassroots and the new Black media. Because again, we are about the business of empowerment. And just like brother Professor Black Truth always says, empowerment only exists because of you. And that's a fact. That is a fact. We moving from the ground up, baby, and I love it. I love it. It is from the people to the microphone to the White House. And I that's standing up. So for me, I mean, again, like I said, some of y'all Bible thumpers, y'all might want to just reevaluate the situation. I'm just saying, and maybe look at this in a different view. Shore up your house, shore up your foundation, and then let everyone else now come deal with you as a healed group. Let's stop trying to use other people's band-aids for our wounds. Let's use our own. That being said, stay black, stay vigilant, and stay alive. Make sure you follow me on Twitter too, because we will be in Twitter Spaces talking about it, family. And who knows, we might have to even talk about this too. But we're also going to be talking about Stop Asian Hate and Joe Biden's immigration move against foundational Black Americans. So let's see. Oh, there we go. Is that right? Where am I at? Where am I at? Bear with me one second. Let me get it right. Okay, I just needed to make sure I was correct. Okay, there it is. So, like I said, stay black, stay vigilant, stay alive. Black first, black first, black first. Shalom, y'all.